Hey ladies, hope you guys are having a good day. I'm doing well, out walking my daughter for her nap as usual. So I wanted to talk to you ladies about some womanly advice from a wife to some of you young single women who might be preparing for marriage. Here is just some words of advice, woman to woman. Can't really believe I'm talking about this so publicly with all these people walking around, but it's doing it just for you. So the first thing I can tell you ladies, some womanly advice. If you're gonna be a pick-me for anyone, be a pick-me for your husband. And I know in this day and age of just everyone hates men and we're very anti-men, if you're going to be a pick-me, don't be a pick-me for a man who is not committed to you. Be a pick-me to your husband. What I mean by that is there's like a negative connotation when it comes to being a pick-me, right? Because you're so male-centered, but I think you should be husband-centered, right? As in, take your husband's suggestions and opinions simply because he committed to you. He's gonna lay his life down for you. We're not talking about some bubble who's playing games, just some random little boy who just wants sex from you. We're talking about a man who is committed to you, who's providing for you, protecting you, covering you. You want to, take what he says into consideration. And this can go as far as, in some women will feel a type of way, but again, most women are not married. And again, they're just anti-men. If your husband likes something, let's say that there's a certain way that you dress, or there's a certain way you do your hair, your presentation, a certain scent, a certain dish that he likes. I always say that if it does not kill you or lead you into sin, I don't see an issue with it. I think that you should take into consideration, and you should be intentional about pleasing your husband, because the Bible says in Titus 2, for older women to teach younger women to submit to their husbands, to love their husbands, to be subject to them, right? To love children, to be keepers of the home, to be busy at home rather. And sorry if it's kind of bright. Let me see if I tap on myself. Okay, there you go, a little bit better. So that's one thing. And this also includes things like, like for example, if you have long hair and your husband met you with long hair and he loves your hair, don't just chop off your hair without talking to him and be like, oh, but this is what I want to do. And that's something he really enjoys about you. I would say, why would you do that, right? Why would you do that? Now, if it was for a specific reason, a medical reason, maybe you have alopecia and you have to start over, I would still talk to him about it first. Maybe try to find a happy medium, wear extensions, something like that, because this is how he likes seeing you, right? So just something like that. Okay, number 2 is, I said, be a pick-me for your husband. And then, number 2, don't deny him sex. I know, I can't believe I'm talking about this so publicly. I see a lot of women, especially women in the world, and modern women, when they're upset with their husbands, they deny themselves. They deny their husband's sex, and they use sex as a form of manipulation, right, to get their husbands to do what they want them to do. And I've seen that, and I think that is very wicked, because the Bible says for husbands and wives to not deny each other of sex except mutually for a short period of time, and then you come back together so that the enemy does not tempt you. So as a woman, and I don't know, for some women it's kind of like they forget that this is a huge part of marriage. I always say that a lot of women want marriage, but they don't want to be wives, and they want the benefits of marriage, but they don't actually want to submit to their husbands, give themselves to their husbands, have sex with their husbands. And it's like, well, then why do you want to be married, right? You have to ask yourself why. So I would say have sex frequently. Make that a priority, because this is one of the main ways that couples, how they start to grow apart, right? Because this is really the only thing that's keeping you married. they just stop having sex. A lot of married men, they'll start complaining and say that, they haven't had sex in 2 weeks, 1 month, a few months. I've even heard some men go as long as a whole decade without having any type of intimacy with their wives, and I think that that is wrong. I think that the enemy does a good job of trying to get people to have sex outside of marriage and not have sex within marriage. But again, this is something that makes you two one, right? So it's not something that you should put on the back burner. It's not something that you should scorn at. It's not something you should feel disgusted about. Again, this is your husband, right? This is not someone who is so random, a random boy who's just trying to hit it and quit it. This is a man who, again, he's providing for you, protecting you, covering you, and he's being a good man to you. Don't now come up with the excuses of, oh, but I have trauma and I have daddy issues. And it's like, okay, well then that's something that you have to deal with, because when women say things like that, it's just, you were doing this stuff. A lot of women are doing this stuff even outside of marriage. So I'm just confused. Like, you gave sex freely to men who are not even your husband, but now all of a sudden we have trauma. Let's be real. If we're gonna be anything, let's be real, okay? And if you have trauma genuinely and you weren't sleeping around before you got saved, I would say then go to a Christian sex therapist. But don't diminish the power of sex in a marriage. That is the only thing that is keeping you married. Besides that, you guys are just roommates, okay? And the last thing that I can leave you ladies with, and I don't know if it's gonna offend y'all because y'all are not married, but just never let yourself go. Never let yourself go. This is a huge thing that I see women, especially like our parents' generation. It's this thing of, oh, I had kids, so like nothing matters, like, oh, I'm this weight now and it doesn't matter. Now, I'm not talking about women who are genuinely trying, right? They're trying to go to the gym, eat healthy, wear their makeup, and they're trying. But there's some women who just get so comfortable, and really what it is, it's selfishness. You're taking your husband for granted. You're like, well, now I caught him, I trapped him, and he can't go anywhere, and he has to love me for me. That's the mentality that a lot of women have. And like I said, selfish. What if your husband, especially for you ladies who want to be hypergamous, what if your husband lost his job, right? God forbid, things happen, but God forbid. And he is just like, well, I'm just gonna play video games for the rest of my life and not go back and get a job. You would feel a type of way because it's not what you signed up for, right? So in the same way, don't take your husband for granted by, letting yourself go. There's a saying that says that men want their women to stay the same, women want their men to change. And try to stay around the same weight that you are now when he meets you, because chances are the way he meets you is the way he likes you. Try not to, and obviously you're gonna gain weight when you get married, but it's not this thing of, oh, I need to gain 200 pounds to have a healthy pregnancy. Like, no, you don't, right? It's called gluttony. You need to still have a controlled diet. You still need to eat healthy. You can't just be eating anything, even just because you're pregnant or postpartum. And let's just say that you gained a little bit too much weight. All right, no worries. You need to make it a priority to be on a journey to get back to where you were at. Obviously, you're not going to look exactly the same. You might have stretch marks and loose skin, but still having a healthy weight and a diet, okay? Because women, once they get a man, they stop doing all the things that it took to get him in the first place. Still wear makeup, still wear perfume. I wear makeup and perfume every day. I don't wear this much makeup every single day. It's just because I was gonna record, but I wear makeup every day. I still do my hair, I still do my nails. Being pregnant and having a child is not an excuse to let yourself go, because your husband is still human and he still likes you in a certain way. So that's what I have to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and make sure to join our community, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.